So a few months ago, I was looking to diversify my portfolio, meaning I didn't want to have money just tied up in the stock market because it's at an all-time high. I didn't want to just invest in real estate because who knows what's going to happen with that. I wanted to invest in e-commerce. But look, I'm a CEO of a digital marketing company, so it's not like I have a lot of free time to do all my research on product listing and selling products online. And you got to figure out how to beat all the competitors that are way more knowledgeable than you are. So someone told me about this thing called Amazon automation. So I did what you're doing, YouTubing it, looking up facts and seeing what's fiction, what's truthful. And I spent months going through all the players in this space, and I ended up deciding to invest with one particular company. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things that you should look into before you invest in Amazon automation. So let's get right to it. The first one is the upfront cost. How much is the initial fee to get a company to run your Amazon for you? So I wanted to make sure I didn't get scammed, right? I mean, some of these companies charge $30,000, $25,000. Some of them are more than that. Some of them aren't even open. They don't take on new clients right now. Some of them I've seen on like Fiverr and whatnot, like $3.99 a month. And so I'm like, man, that seems sketchy. It's too cheap. Because I know that if you're gonna run an Amazon store, you have to have a team. Like, you have to pay a lot of people to be inside of your store, because when a sale happens, you got to go and deliver it and put in the customer's information. This is in the drop shipping model. And so you got to pay people. And even if you have VAs overseas, you have to pay them. Plus, on top of that, in order to have a successful Amazon store to protect you in case your Amazon store ever got suspended, or God forbid you got deactivated, on the stores that Amazon ever suspends, they ask for the suspended account owner to provide invoices on where they're getting their products. So with the particular company that I went with, they have all those invoices, which protects me in case my account ever is suspended. A lot of these other companies, they don't have that. Why? Because it costs a lot of money to get these letters from suppliers. So that's one thing I would check in on before you go with a particular company. So I was willing to spend more money so that I made sure I had a safer Amazon account than maybe some of these other guys that don't really know what they're doing, and they don't have the relationship with suppliers that are going to provide those letters in case your account ever got suspended. So this company said, 1 in 20 accounts are susceptible. They manage over 140 to 170 now Amazon stores, and they said 1 in 20 get suspended. None have been terminated. They always get the suspension unsuspended because they have the letters and everything that Amazon asked them. So that was huge for me. So the company I went with is not cheap, but over the long haul, like if they're going to manage my Amazon store for, let's say, a couple years, well, let's say it was $30,000 to start, so it'd be $15,000 a year. It's a little bit over $1,000 a month to have this company manage all my store from A to Z. Like, research the products, list the products, sell the products, optimize it, and all they're using is my credit card capital, because that's the credit card that's in my Amazon store that's doing all the plus I'm getting the credit points, plus I'm getting all the cash back incentives. Like, to me, it was a no-brainer. Like, that's not a lot of money to have your own business. That's the thing, is it doesn't cost $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, whatever your initial fee is, whatever company you go with, it doesn't cost that much money. That's the initial investment. Because here's the thing, if you go with a company and they don't get you back your initial investment in the first year, then you probably went with the wrong company. I did my research and made sure that within 12 months, I recuperated my initial investment, or they send me the difference. So if my initial fee is $30,000 and they only sell $15,000 worth of profit, I get to go to them and say, hey, it's been a year, and they will write me a check for the additional $15,000. So that's called a buyback program. That's the second thing I want you to be mindful of. Does your company provide a buyback clause in their contract? Meaning, if they don't recuperate the initial fee, $30,000, $40,000, $20,000, whatever you sign up for, the $399, if they don't recuperate that, it's on them. That's them saying to you, we believe in our model. We've done this before. You can trust us. You're going to make back your initial capital. So, number one, what is the upfront cost? Is it too small, too big? What's the right number? To me, I'm willing to buy the Mercedes for this type of business model than I am the Walmart people just trying to make a quick buck. So the second thing is to make sure there's a buyback clause in the contract so that it protects you and your investment, making it literally risk-free. All right, so that was to me a huge important factor. The third thing I looked for was the commission split. Some companies are doing 50-50 commission splits. I didn't like that, but I wanted to go with a company that does have a commission split because I wanted them to have some skin in the game, meaning the better my store performs, the more money they make and the more money I make. But if it's just an initial fee and the company doesn't take a commission split, you should run, right? That's not good. So I tried to find a company that had the lowest commission split, and this company I went with is only a 30% commission split, meaning if we make $10,000 in profit, they get $3,000, I get $7,000. Well, they should get that because it costs them money to manage people to run your store for you. But I should get the profit of $7,000 because they're using my capital. It's my credit card. So not only would, in that case, let's say I made $10,000 a month, and they get $3,000, I get $7,000. Not only am I getting $7,000, I'm getting all of my cash back, and I'm getting all my credit card points. So it's a no-brainer to me. Like, you got to make sure that you ask about the commission split, and I think 30% is a fair deal. The fourth thing is looking at your provider's net margins. Who cares if they can sell you $200,000 a month in sales? None of that matters unless you look at the profit margin. So you should find a provider that offers you 10 to 20% profit margin and does it consistently. That means the store owner is getting 10 to 20% off of every sale inside of that store. So the provider you go with is going to use software that helps pick products where that's the case. If you go with cheap providers, they may not have the software to provide you those parameters. I went with the company that I chose to go with because they showed me across the 140 stores that they managed that was the average net margin for their stores. So to me, if their goal is to have a $100,000 store for me, which it is, every store that they have, that's their goal, and they've been able to do it countless times. The only thing that would hold them back from not getting a $100,000 store for you is your credit card limit, meaning over time you increase your credit purchasing power, and I use the Amex Platinum card, and so what that means is every little bit that I spend, Amex rewards me and increases my credit limit. So if you can start your store with $10,000 credit limit, and let's say you make 10% off $10,000, that's an extra grand, all right? Minus their 30%, they take $300, you get $700, right? So that's fun, passive little $700, but you want to make way more money than that, right? I mean, I did, and they do too, right? That's not a lot of money for them. $300 a month doesn't pay the bills for them. They want to get your store to $100,000 a month too. Well, they're going to do that off your credit card limit. Now you say, why don't they just do this in their own store? Because Amazon only allows each individual, each social security number, each LLC number to have one store. You can only have one store on Amazon. That's why this Amazon automation business makes sense, because they want to have a bunch of people's Amazon stores that they manage, and they just get a commission split. They just get an initial fee up front that covers their costs, the software, the team, the training, all the things that they're doing, the product research, the customer fulfillment. That's their initial fee. And then you want to find a company that just takes a little commission split every month off the work that they're doing so that it's optimized. Your store's never lagging because they have skin in the game. So make sure the profit margins are there. The net margins, 10 to 20%, seems to be a really good industry average. All right, the fifth and last one that I want to talk about on this video is to make sure that you get all the cash back and credit card points. So when you sign up for the Amazon automation, you're going to be using your credit card, all right? So in Amazon Central, when you sign up, they'll show you how to do it. You upload your credit card and you just sit it there. And let's say you have a credit limit of $30,000. That's great. That's wonderful. You're going to get $30,000 worth of points every month. That's amazing. You'll never pay for flying again. You'll be able to travel wherever. And that was one of the things that I loved about this too, is like, not only am I going to make 10 to 20% profit margin on $30,000 store or $100,000 store, I'm going to get points along the way. Yes, but the company I went with also is giving cash back. There's companies like Be Frugal where if you shop in certain stores, so let's say someone buys a product from our store and then we end up fulfilling it by going to Home Depot or Walmart. Well, there's cashback programs that are going to actually give you cash back when you make purchases. Not only credit card points, but cash back. And this is just a cherry on the top of what you're doing in your Amazon store. Make sure you find a company that doesn't touch your cash back and doesn't touch your credit card points. That's why I went with the company I went with. And I'm actually flying out to meet the CEO of this company. I've got more questions and I want to document the journey. So if you do want to subscribe to this channel as I document the team I'm working with and how our stores are going, I'm going to share all that. Just because we really believe 2020 is Amazon automation time. I would say forget the automation. You should just run your own Amazon store. But I know too many of you don't know what you're doing. You're going to screw things up. You're going to get your account suspended. And you don't have relationships with suppliers. You don't have the time to do all the fulfillment. And you're going to buy courses, waste money. You have a full-time job. Go do that job and hire experts that have been in the Amazon space forever. For me, I went with a guy who oversees a team that runs 140 to 170. It keeps changing because they keep getting new clients. And so I am happy to share with you who that company is and how I got involved. They've offered me an opportunity to work with some of these YouTubers because they're not on YouTube. So I said, let me share about it. And if you don't mind, maybe you can give me a commission off of the people that sign up under me. He said he's open to that. So I'll get a little commission if you guys do sign up with this team. But screw the commission. Don't do this because you're trying to like help me. I don't need the commission. Do this because you want to invest in the best company in this Amazon automation space. And you want to do so to protect yourself. You want to make sure that you're optimizing your profits and that your account's going to be good and safe. And obviously there's always risk involved in any business. And I'm not saying that there's never risk. There is. But when I looked through it and did all the math, this to me is far better than investing in Apple, when Apple can drop 30% a month and wait 3 months and then it can rise up 30%. Like, this is just consistent growth like this, and he shows you over and over in his store. So what I would encourage you to do, if you are interested in this, don't apply if you're broke because it's not a good business plan for you. You need to have a credit score over 700. You need to have at least $30,000 in upfront capital. You need to understand that a business like this takes at least 3 months to grow because Amazon, whether you go with any company, Amazon puts your account on a 3-month suspension. Or not a suspension, a probation period, sorry. What they're looking for is whether or not your account is actually doing what you're saying you're doing. So if you have sales, that means you're sending the products to the people that are buying it and then they give you good reviews. Amazon looks at every brand new account for 3 months and says, is this person legit? If you are, then in month 4, you start opening up, you get that what's called the buy box. That's when your store starts scaling and you're doing crazy awesome numbers. So all that to say, if you are interested in the slightest, I'd encourage you, I have a link in my description. You click it, you fill out the form, and if it's of interest to you and you want to talk to me more, we can get on a phone call. I'm not some big YouTuber. I'm honestly an investor, and I've always been in real estate and in stocks, but I think the third wing is e-commerce, and it's legit, and not a lot of people know about it. And the cool thing with this business opportunity is not a lot of people can actually get into it, because they don't have good credit scores and they don't have upfront capital. So that was another reason why I was interested, because I don't want to be a part of an opportunity where everybody and their grandma can get involved. That's not an opportunity. The opportunity is when very few select people have the credentials to be able to get involved in it. So if that's you, I'm telling you, let's get on a phone call and we will talk about all that you want to talk about. I'm an open book and happy to share with you about the results of what we're seeing in Amazon automation. All right, God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you real soon.